I'm attempting to watch 1,000 games of football before the end of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I'm going to be ranking every single one to find out which game is the greatest of the season. Today, we are covering more UEFA European World Cup qualifiers as Israel take on Italy. This game has blown up over social media because, quite rightly, it is one of the most batshit insane games I've ever seen in football, and probably the best World Cup qualifying European game I've ever seen. But let's get into all the good stuff. Now, going into this game, Israel sat second in the group and Italy sat in third, meaning that whoever won this game would have a real good sort of advantage going into the final few rounds of qualifiers. So it was a must-win game for both sides. And Israel got off to the best possible start when in the 16th minute, Manuel Locatelli would convert an own goal to make it 1-0 to the home side. I say home side, but this game was actually played in Hungary because you can't play it in Israel for obvious reasons, but ignore that. Near the end of the first half, Italy really started to gain some momentum, and they would grab an equaliser through Moise Kean, a brilliantly worked finish from him, to get the game back to level proceedings. What kicked off from here in the second half was just a crazy half of football in all aspects. Starting off in the 52nd minute, Dor Peretz for Israel managed to score a beautiful effort into the top left-hand corner, but straight off of kickoff, Moise Kean would convert a cracker half volley to get it back to level proceedings, and only 4 minutes later, a beautiful piece of teamwork from Italy, including a backheeled flick from Matteo Retegui, would find the feet of Matteo Politano, who would strike a first-time volley into the bottom left-hand corner to give Italy the 3-2 lead. Giacomo Raspadori would score in the 81st minute to all but confirm the 3 points for Italy. However, there was still life in the game as 5 minutes later, Bastoni would convert an own goal, and only mere minutes after that, Israel would have an equaliser off of a set piece to bring the game to 4-4. But if things couldn't get any crazier, 2 minutes later in added time, Sandro Tonali would score just a freak goal, just a lucky as hell freak goal that was very poorly blocked out by Israel to make it 5-4 to Italy. They would see the game out, and despite some post-match arguments and fights between the Israeli and Italian players, including Gattuso getting involved because of course he did, Italy would run out 5-4 winners. Overall, this game was nearly perfect. I'm tempted to actually rate it a 10 out of 10, but just the slow first half is going to knock it down like a slightly for me, but I'm still going to rate it a 9.9.